Good morning, people from our beautiful harbor. Tonlé made it into the water. We splashed a little while ago, and now there are only a few jobs left to finish before we can head out into the great blue yonder. Among them is unwrapping our new anchor. That's right, we got a new anchor. Because we're planning to sail for a while, and maybe also in areas where there is no ports that we can head to for safety, or anchoring conditions might be less than optimal, we have decided to upgrade our anchoring gear to something that is really good, really stable. A platform that will not only set every time the first time, but also hold really strongly in adverse conditions. Whoop whoop! Good news! The anchor is here. That's an anchor. That's a huge anchor. Packed flat. Because it still needs to be assembled, which is one of the cool features of the Mantus M1 anchors. So you can assemble and disassemble it, store it flatly, and also ship it much more easily. Imagine this. This is a 50-kilo anchor, and it's just a tiny pack like that. And I just took delivery of it. The delivery guy came with the truck, unloaded it. Now it's here. Now I'm here, and the boat is somewhere over there. But luckily, I have a skateboard, and that skateboard is underneath here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a ride. All right. Woo! Yes! This works surprisingly well until the first turn, I think. Or until I run out of speed. Amazing. All the looks that I'm getting. Glad it's going downhill a bit. Fantastic. The rest of it, unfortunately, is pushing by hand. The skateboard is surprisingly versatile for transporting stuff because it can steer it. Great stuff. But how do I get this 50-kilo anchor on board now? I can't just put it in my backpack and then jump aboard. So I solved this problem with the help of Peter and our Genoa halyard. We just attach the halyard to the anchor, another controlling rope, and then simply hauled the anchor up with the halyard, and with one controlled, smooth move, it was on board. Without further ado, this is our anchor. Now, to the unobservant eye, this might look like a normal cardboard box. This is where you attach the chain, and then you just throw the whole thing overboard. This new type of flat pack anchor then just settles on the ground like this and creates a kind of suction which sucks it into the ground and holds it super nicely. Of course you realize that this is a joke, but this actually is the anchor. We have opted for the Mantus M1, and one of the advantages of that anchor is that it packs flatly, it disassembles, so it can actually be shipped in the cardboard box like that. This is a 50-kilo anchor. This is a substantially large anchor, and yet it's shipped like this. It's also great because I can disassemble it and store it. Why have I chosen this anchor? Well, often before I make a purchase, I try to do research on the product that I want. I make a mental list or a physical list of the properties that I want, that I need. I have a budget that I want to spend, and then I try to research as many different sources as I can to get information on this product. With anchors, there's a whole lot of information out there. There is a tons of videos on YouTube. There is forums that discuss about anchors at length. There is many articles in different sailing magazines where anchors are tested under different conditions, and it's hard to compare these different things because all the tests and all the opinions are very subjective. It's really hard to test something like an anchor objectively because the anchoring conditions vary so wildly. The underground varies, the type of boat varies, the chain, the scope, all this changes. So comparing anchors is not an easy task. Plus, many people like their anchor and stick to it and think that's the best. But in my opinion, when I read all these different sources of information, worked through all this information, it sort of crystallized for me that roll bar anchors, so scoop style roll bar anchors, seem to be the most versatile in terms of what grounds you can anchor in. They seem to be the best performers in terms of how quickly they set over a wide array of grounds. They seem to have very good veering stabilities, and they also look cool. And amongst these roll bar type anchors, there are different offers, and within those I think that the Mantus M1 is one of the best. I chose the Mantus M1 design. Now here it's probably a good time for a disclaimer. I have then contacted a Mantus reseller here in Spain. We're in Spain, so I contacted the official reseller, which is Pavanaservices, and asked them if they want to collaborate with us and provide us with an anchor. They have said yes, they wanted to collaborate with us. So we got this anchor not for free. We did pay for it, but we got a little discount on it. So I'm trying to be as objective as I can when I'm reviewing this anchor. But to be completely transparent, I have to also say that we have gotten a little discount on this anchor. So the delivery process was super easy. Ordered the thing, paid the thing, and a couple of days later it was in the mail basically. It arrived via a logistics company because this is a little bit big to fit in the mailbox. But the whole process of ordering it and getting it here was super easy. Thanks Pavanaservices for that. I assume if you order with Mantus anchors directly, the same thing happens. The whole thing goes smoothly, and because those anchors pack flatly, they're super easy to ship. Let's unpack it. Let's see what comes in that box. Alright, this is what's in the pack. This is how it comes shipped. So we have the plate, the roll bar, the shank. So it's 3 parts. A instruction manual on how to assemble it, I guess. This little bit of lube. Massive bolts. Everything is tied down and secured in place nicely. So this piece, this thing, I think that's a very neat way to ship it. Just look at how absolutely massive this anchor is. We opted for the 50, I think it's 51 kilo, 105 pounds version. After discussing it with Pavanaservices, they recommended us this size. It's the size that is appropriate from the Mantus M1 sizing table. For winds over 55 knots, we said go big or go home. We want to anchor in remote and extreme places, potentially in bad weather. So I'd rather have an anchor that I really know will hold me than something a bit too small, because why? So it's a big anchor, it's a big boat for big adventures. Alright, let's try to assemble this anchor before the heat kills us. Alright, Mantus M1 anchor in all its glory. Solid looking shank. Huge bolts connecting to a huge fluke and a massive roll bar. All in all, it looks like a very solid anchor. The anchor is assembled and it is massive. You could crawl through that roll bar. Yeah. Easy.
No problem.
It's huge. Can you lift it? Like hold it in your hand like a baby?
This one? No. Never.
It's as heavy as you.
It is as heavy as I am. Hard to imagine. Feels okay to lift somehow.
But it's...
yeah, it's heavy.
Yeah, it's a big anchor.
It's a very big anchor.
Alright, let's get this baby on the chain.
So we connect it to our anchor chain with those shackles.
I'm not sure if that's a shekel in English. A shekel is a currency. Does it fit? Oh, it fits.
It
Ooh,
fits.
Great.
As much as I can.
Yeah. Well, until it feels good. Looks good.
Feels good.
All
That
right.
looks nice.
That looks good.
That looks good.
Well, it has to be said, our anchor chain is on the light side for this anchor. This is a big, heavy, 105 pounds anchor. We have for this anchor, small 10mm chain. It's a high strength chain, so a high tensile strength chain. It's strong enough, but it's a bit lighter and a bit smaller. We chose to go that way to have less weight on the bow. That way we can afford to put a bigger anchor on the bow. So we have either you have a lot of heavy chain or you have a heavier anchor. Traditionally people say the weight of the anchor chain is what holds your boat. We're going another way. We have a lighter chain and a heavier anchor, and in total still save some weight on the bow. Let's get it in the bow roller. Okay, the anchor is assembled, and in the bow roller everything worked.
It is where it belongs to.
It fits.
Wow.
We still have some lines attached to it because the attachment isn't final. We still need to tighten the chain and find a good strap that attaches it here. But it fits in our bow roller configuration, which is great. I wasn't too sure about that in the end. Currently it's just strapped to the winch, so we need to finalize that in a second, but I thought it's nice to give you a look how this looks on the boat. Alright, I think that should be visible. This is
Our newest anchor.
oh yeah.